Good afternoon. This is Crocker's Crazy Living. It is Sunday, about 5:10 to 6 in the evening. It is Memorial Day weekend. Monday, tomorrow is Memorial Day. We're going to have a family lunch. I am going to be making a blueberry and cherry pie tomorrow, so that video will come tomorrow. So tonight I'm going to make my pie crust for tomorrow, so it has a chance to do what it does in the refrigerator overnight. At least it needs an hour in the fridge, but I'm going to just do it tonight and leave it in there overnight. So I'm going to show you my pie crust recipe because I've not done this one. And you do it in the food processor. Hold on. Okay, you do it in the food processor. That is the easiest way for me to make pie crust because I tend to play with my pie crust dough too much. Therefore, it makes the crust tough. I'm just trying to adjust you so you can see what I'm doing. It's hard to get that in the frame. Okay, there we go. You're not going to see me, you're just going to hear me. So this pie crust recipe comes from the Food Network, and it's Ina Garten's Perfect Pie Crust. That is my go-to crust because it is delicious, it's flaky, it's easy to roll out, and it's the easiest way for me to do pie crust. So you want to make sure that you have 1.5 sticks of very cold butter. I put mine in the freezer, actually, and I freeze it, so it's very, very cold. You use 3 cups of flour, tablespoon of sugar, teaspoon of salt, 1/3 of a cup of very cold Crisco or frozen Crisco, and then 1/2 cup of ice water. Now I'm going to make 2 batches. So I have 2 blobs of shortening here because I'm gonna do two pie crusts at separate times. So to your food processor, you want to put your flour. So you need 3 cups of flour. Find my measuring cup. Okay. You want to put your 3 cups of flour in there. 1, 2, 3. 3 cups of flour. You're going to add 1 tablespoon of sugar. Tablespoon of sugar. You are going to add 1 teaspoon of salt. And then you're just going to pulse that for just a couple of seconds just to incorporate the flour, the sugar, and the salt. Just to kind of incorporate that. Then you're going to add your Crisco and your butter. This is 6 ounces of butter. I use homemade butter, so I have it weighed out. 1.5 sticks is 6 ounces of butter. And I'm kind of breaking it up a little bit because it is frozen. And you got to pulse it. See, I have to cut that because it's really solid. want your butter to be in little cubes or chunks. Oops. Just flicked my knife and it flew everywhere. Alright, so this butter goes in. Looks like a lot of butter, but it's a stick and a half. It's a stick and a half weighs 6 ounces. Okay. So you're going to pulse this until it turns kind of like you have little bits of butter. Until it resembles coarse crumbs, which it's almost there, but not quite. Okay, so you can kind of see down here that it's coarse, like little peas shaped. That's what you want. This kind of collected up on the top, so I'm just gonna give that another little pulse. Okay, getting it everywhere. The messy baker is back. So it resembles kind of crumbles, you know, nice little bits. You can feel the little bits. Kind of looks like cornmeal. That's what you want. Then you're going to get your ice water. What I do is I take a cup and I put ice in it. And then I add the water. I let that get cold and then I remeasure it. So let me grab a measuring cup. I don't have any water in the fridge. I thought I had cold water in the fridge, but I don't. Have any cold water in the fridge? I do. No, I do have a bottle of cold water in the fridge. So I'm just going to measure out half a cup. Okay, and then you're going to want, what you do is you turn your food processor on low and then you add the water and you only process it till the dough rolls up into a ball. It usually just rolls right up into a bowl. It didn't quite do that, but it's okay. It's going to be just fine. Right. So once you got it to where it'll hold together, then you wrap it in plastic wrap. Where's my plastic wrap? This recipe makes 2 9 to 11 inch pie crusts. So what I'm going to do, you know, sometimes they tell you you can, shoot, my wrap is ripping. You can take it out and you can divide it into 2, and then you wrap each half. I'm just going to roll the whole thing up. Why is this ripping like this? This plastic wrap is getting to the end of the roll. And it's starting to want to rip up on me for some reason. It's catching somewhere. Where's that catching? No, it's catching. My wrap is catching on something and it's ripping. Your wrap? Plastic wrap. Okay. It's going to be a mess to get out of there. Oh, it doesn't go with that. Goes on the bottom. All right, so I got my dough right here. It's all good. And I'm just going to wrap it up. I wish I had my big board out because I could really use it right about now to kind of get this dough to come together, but I don't have room on my table right now. I have to redo this whole kitchen tomorrow in order to do pies. It's just, it's kind of messy right now. All right, so it smells like good pie crust. I'm gonna wrap it up. Maybe I should get my bigger wrap. Now wrap it up. Put it in the fridge. Let it do what it does overnight. I think I need my bigger wrap. I like to buy these food service wraps, but the boxes fall apart and I have to cut them with scissors because the sharp part never works right. Okay. Just gonna kind of pull this together. I'm gonna use one pie crust for tomorrow. Well, two. I'm gonna make a lattice. So I'm gonna do one pie crust with a lattice, and then the other one is gonna be a one crust with a crumb topping. All right, so I got those all ready to go into the fridge. Maybe I'll flatten this one out a little bit more so it's not as hard to roll out into a ball. It's easier to roll out if it's flatter like that. Okay, so that's it for easy pie crust. I'm going to make my other one, but I'm not going to do that on camera because you've already seen it. So I'm going to make my other one, and then tomorrow I'm going to make my pies. I will be back to do the pies on video. If you have not had a chance to subscribe to my page and you like my channel, please hit the subscribe button, hit the bell. It'll remind you when I have a video. Give me a thumbs up. I would appreciate that. Share me with your friends. And I will see you next time on Cracker's Crazy Living. Have a good evening. Bye.